asked recently. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about the first. Oh, see, now I'm going to mess up. See, I was doing so well. You had to screw that all up.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Let's talk about the top 5 questions that we've been asked recently. Yeah, let's do it.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to our everyday getaway for our first Q&A video. Mm-hmm. And what's it been, like 3 months?
Yeah, only 3.
3 months. We'll do our best to answer the questions after 3 months.
Yep.
We're learning.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay. These are our top 5 questions. Recently, we've seen a large increase in subscribers. And once again, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. With the increase in subscribers,
come a lot more questions.
A lot of questions. And there are a lot of you asking questions who are new to full-time living or thinking about it within the next year.
True.
So you're following along and, we're going to do our best to help you guys out as much as possible. Keep in mind, we're still learning and we got a lot to learn.
We do. But we have some good, I think we got to come up with a lot of good questions from everybody.
Well,
so let's go down the list.
Yes, you've done the work and you have the top 5.
Number 1 on the list is, how do we find places to stay? Number 2 is, how far in advance do we make reservations? Number 3 is our health and our health care appointments. Yes. How do we make those appointments? Yeah. And then 4 is, why do we choose a Class A diesel pusher?
Yeah.
Number 5 is, how do we make money on the road?
And we'll save that question for last.
Yes.
Because that seems to be the most...
Of all the questions, that's the one most asked.
That is the most asked, yes. And I don't think we've touched on that enough. So we'll deal with that one last.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Okay.
Okay. So number 1 on the list is, how do we find places to stay?
Well,
there's a couple different ways.
There are a couple different ways. The first most popular resource for us is Allstay app.
Yes.
Allstay's app. Yes, and it's been around for a while. We use that. Very easy to use. It is an app you have to pay for. Go in there.
Well worth it.
Go into Allstay's app, type in your destination, and you can filter through the type of campgrounds you want to stay at. So if you want to stay at a state park, or a national park, or a KOA, or a private home park.
Independent, or what is the other one? Army Corps Engineers.
Yes. And we've yet to stay at an Army Corps Engineers.
We've tried. It just hasn't worked out with our trip so far. But we will get there.
It will also give you information about Walmarts, Cracker Barrels, places to overnight. Allstay's app would be our go-to.
That's our number 1.
Resource number 1. What else?
We also look at other people's YouTubes.
Yeah. Channels. Now, here's the thing. For years, Katrina and I have watched RV YouTube channels. Many of the channels, the popular ones all the way down to the not so popular ones. Little guys that are starting out. And over the years, we've taken notes. I've gone on Google Maps and I've marked all the places that looked interesting to us that we may want to stay. That's another resource for us to decide where we want to go. And if we're traveling from point A to point B, and any of those places are along the way, we'll do our best to try to go there.
And they do some really nice reviews, and you can actually see the park, unlike if you just go online. So reviews are great.
We'll make a mental note, we'll write it down, and then we'll research it, and we'll look at it and see, is it worth stopping or checking out based on reviews. We started doing that from the get-go. Before we did any app, or it was YouTube.
It was all YouTube.
It was all YouTube.
We have, like I said, we have Thousand Trails, and we have Passport America, the channels.
So how do we find the places to stay? Number 1 would be Allstay's app. Number 2 is the YouTube channels that we've watched. That's my favorite. We've watched the channels for
years.
Oh my God, years. Another resource is Thousand Trails, because we're now Thousand Trails members.
That's true.
Right. Yep. And then another resource we're going to use is Passport America, because we're now Passport America members. Another membership we need to join is Escapees.
Escapees, we're going to look into that. And you forgot state parks.
And state parks as well. Not so much national parks, because we're not concerned with staying inside the national parks.
No, we don't need to do that.
No, we don't need to do that. Plus, with the larger size rig, it can be a little difficult. So we're more, when it comes to a national park, we'll stay on the outside, and we're okay with that. And we'll just drive inside.
We'll just drive in.
We're driving inside. Okay. Question number 2.
Yes. Question number 2 is, how far in advance do we make our bookings? Do we book a site?
Good question. And you're looking at the booking committee right there.
Woo,
she
woo.
handles all that. And there's many days when she's freaking out, yelling, screaming, and
No,
hollering.
I don't yell and scream and holler. That's not true.
Okay. All right. You want to take that
That
away?
is so not true.
You want to take that away?
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay, so as far as reservations in advance, every place is different. You know, when we book our state parks, we're looking at 11 months to 12 months in advance, and most of them are 11 months. And then when we're booking independent sites, or independent, I should say, parks, we can book, am I not say that right?
No, I mean, they're independently, privately owned parks, yes.
When we're booking the private parks, we can book a year or more in advance. So actually, that's the easiest place for us to book, is the independent parks. And then when you get into Thousand Trails, that's when things start to get a little bit more complicated.
A lot complicated.
And to be honest with you, we have not even scratched the surface on how to use Thousand Trails.
Yeah.
It's very complicated. At least that's what we think. If you guys feel differently, please let us know. If you guys have any tips and tricks on how to use Thousand Trails, please leave a description, or leave a comment
down below, because we're learning it, and it is definitely a learning process. Just when you think you have everything figured out, they throw you a curveball, and you're like, well, wait a minute, I thought that covered. No, you have to do a little extra here.
Right.
And I'm sure there are those of you who got it down cold and have a better understanding of it, but it is definitely
let us learn from you.
It's a little frustrating. Well, it's a lot frustrating, to be honest with you. It's very frustrating. I've told Katrina this before. I think I could get together the 10 best minds in the RV industry, and they could come up with a platform better than what Thousand Trails has. I thoroughly believe that. I think it's much more complicated. It's almost like the federal government with bureaucracy, or layer after layer of red tape. They're making it much more difficult and harder than it needs to be.
Right.
So
maybe they do that on purpose.
I don't know.
So our plan, and every plan's different. So our plan, we can book 7 months in advance for the Trails collection, which there's different collections, and then you purchase Encore, and then Encore, you can only book out 60 days in advance. So we book out as much as we can in advance. And then what we do is we wait until those 60 days before to try to do the Encores,
and we hope for the best.
Well, we do. And the problem with that is that, of course, we want to stay where we want to stay at the certain times of the year that everybody else wants to stay there. So to find the Encore 60 days in advance isn't always available either. Right? Yeah. So we're still learning. We do have quite a few booked already, so we'll see how that goes. And then the Passport America, I've only booked one so far. The problem that I'm finding with Passport America is that on the more popular, again, times of the year, where you want to use it for, let's say, a week or 2 weeks, no. You cannot do that. Why is that, Chris?
It's just one of those things they have in place, you know.
The reason why you can't do that is there's certain days that you can only use Passport America at certain campsites. So, for example, let's say we're going up to Michigan and we want to stay somewhere for a week. Well, we can only stay Monday through Thursday at the Passport America at that price. And then the weekend days, we have to pay the regular price, which really actually is not that bad. But that's not what we thought.
Well, with Passport America, you get 50% off.
We do. We get 50%
But it's
off.
not just signing up.
It's not a blanket.
No, it's not. No. It's not nothing like that. There are little tweaks and rules and regulations, so you have to read the fine print. And it's actually, we bought a membership while it was on sale.
We did. Yes.
So it was a fairly cheap membership, and we said, you know what the heck, why not do it? Only to find out that, we should have read the fine print, and,
live and learn.
Live and learn. But I think it's part of the package. It's part of the overall stay.
Yeah.
If you incorporate that in with your others, then you can make it work.
Yeah. And I would not change a thing. I would go back and I would purchase Passport America again. It's just that I probably would do a little bit more homework and know what I was getting into. And again, if you guys have Passport America and you have any suggestions on how to use it, that would be greatly appreciated.
Leave a comment down below. Once again, these are measures we're taking to alleviate the cost of campground fees.
So for us, we have a budget and we cannot go above that budget. That's the budget that we literally have to spend.
Yeah.
We will learn how to travel and live on this budget.
I've said this before. It's like anything else. The first time you get married, you go out and you looked at buying a house, and it's a little nerve-wracking. You're wondering, it's stressful. Can I make this work? And you find a way to make it work. You do it. Most people find a way to make it work. Not everyone. Most people find a way to make it work. And once they get into that routine, they get comfortable. Then along comes that first child and that second child, that third child. And every time that happens, there's this anxiety of, can we make this work? What are we going to do? Now we have to tweak the budget and change. It's the same thing. Once we get into a rhythm, we'll get into it and it's going to work. We've already have 2022 planned out. And we're already working into 2023. So we know that in early 2023, we're going to be in Florida.
We have the majority of our route planned out and the major places that we're staying. There might be a couple nights here or there that we will stay at a Boondocker's Welcome or a Harvest Host or just overnight at Cracker Barrel or even boondocking.
So how far do we plan out? We're planning out a year or more out already, right?
We are.
Yeah.
So third question is our health care and our general health. Like, what do we do about appointments?
We kind of just wing it.
Well, we do, but we have a little bit of a plan. Like, for example, we were down south for the winter and we came back to Maryland and we're staying here for a month. And in that month time frame, we're getting everything done we need to get done. And what does that mean? That means Chris's health appointments. And can you tell them a little bit about that?
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, I was back in 2020, September 20, 2 months after I retired, I was diagnosed with throat cancer. Went to Johns Hopkins, went through the treatments. As of right now, I am cancer free. I need to go in. There's a 5-year window that cancer patients have to deal with. Once you get your treatment, they watch you for 5 years. I need to go to Johns Hopkins every 3 to 4 months to be checked. And right now it's every 3 to 4 months. At some point it will be like every 6 months. Some of the blood work I can do that on the road. Some of the work I need to be there.
And so what we've decided, I think at that point, depending where we're at, Chris will either fly home or drive the Jeep back to Maryland and take care of those appointments.
We know that that's necessary. I didn't want to stay close by for 5 years. I didn't want to put off doing this lifestyle for 5 years until I got past.
Oh, and tell them, that is one of the reasons why we decided to do what we're doing. And, you know, for people that don't understand why you would sell a home and then buy an RV and travel, and, you know, we understand that financially it's not the best thing to do, okay? But for us, it was like,
it's now
or never. Like,
let's
stop
talking
life
about
is too short.
Right. Let's stop talking about it. Let's make it happen. Let's do it.
Because memories are what it's all about. Like, you only live one life. Yeah. And we decided, you know what? Life's too short. Let's go. This is the time, and we're gonna do it.
Yeah. Wherever we are on the road, I'll just fly home, and it's a price I have to pay, and I'm willing to pay that. We're willing to pay that price if it means we're out doing something we love and enjoy, and we're creating memories together.
Yes.
That the memories and the good times and the fun far outweigh the price I have to pay for a round trip ticket to come back to Baltimore and have you know, some lab work done. And you know,
now
okay.
Fortunately for us, we still have family that lives in Maryland. So when we come back to Maryland, we do have a place to stay.
So that makes it easier
nice
for us. Yes.
Yes.
Your health issues are pretty...
Mine are just regular checkups. So when I have to come back for any kind of checkup, I plan, if we're going to come back for a couple weeks, I get everything done in that time, which includes the dentist and the regular checkups. But I do need like my yearly exams.
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick, if we can just interject this real quick. So you guys out there that have pets and whatnot that need groomed and trimmed, we have found that if we take Tucker to a Petco and he gets trimmed and groomed there, we can go anywhere in the United States and they have his records. So they know the exact gauge that they use to clip him, and we can make an appointment as long as we do it in advance. We can go like one place, let's say we're in Maryland, we get him groomed and clipped, and then 3 or 4 months later we might be out in Ohio, and if there's a Petco out there, we make an appointment ahead of time, and so it keeps him regular, and he looks great.
And that all falls under the healthcare, you know, the upkeep and healthcare.
Yeah.
As far as what we'll do when we're on the road and there's an issue with Tucker, health-wise.
You mean like a vet? Yes.
Yeah, we're just going to have to do our best to find a local vet.
We will.
And, you know, we have no other choice. It's not like if we're out in Colorado, it's not as if we can just come home. We're just going to have to do our best.
No, but we do keep his records with us, so we know what's going on at all times with him. Okay.
Question number 4.
Number 4. Why did we choose a Class A diesel pusher?
Now, we did a video of this early on in our channel, and I'll put a link above. You can check out that link. But very simple, very easy, because I'm comfortable driving a Class A.
It was an easy decision for Chris.
Because I'm comfortable driving a Class A style motorhome. I you know, for 35 years working, those are the type of vehicles. I have a CDL license, a Class B, 26,000 pounds or over, up to a certain weight. I can't remember the weight, but those are the vehicles that I was used to driving. So I know I'm comfortable with that. Would we like a fifth wheel?
Yes.
Yes. Do I have experience driving a fifth wheel? No. Now, I've talked to a few people since we've been on the road, and we've met some people at some campgrounds, and I asked them, did you have any experience with the fifth wheel? And they were like, no, I just did it. And I think that's fantastic. I think that's great. And I could probably do that, but I would be stressed out doing that. I'd be very stressed out doing that, and I'd have to get through that learning experience. If I could go somewhere for like a week or two and take a training class and get acclimated and familiar with a fifth wheel, you know.
I feel like if we stayed somewhere a month or more at a time, that would be better for us to get a fifth wheel. So maybe in the future we'll do that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But
I would love to have that huge kitchen with the island. Oh man.
Yeah, and I know some of you out there watching have fifth wheels, and you're like, that's no problem. And anytime you want me to come over and drive your fifth wheel around and take practice, you just let me know. I'll come on over if you're willing to trust me. No problem.
I hope you're up on your insurance. Yeah.
But anyway, it just came down to experience, and I have no experience with fifth wheels and towing trailers and such. So that it's very simple. It's not a difficult.
No, it's not. Maybe I'll drive.
Yes. Maybe not. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. That is a strong negative.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
No.
Okay.
All right. So
can we do number 5?
Number 5, the most, and well, I don't know if it's the most important question. Maybe it is for some.
I think we've been asked this probably the most out of all the questions.
Okay. And just so you guys know, Katrina handles all the comments. She tries to answer every comment, so she would know more than I would about the questions.
Right. So the one we get the most comments about is, how do we make money on the road? And how do we make it happen, babe?
Well, thankfully, I worked for 35 years. I was a union iron worker. I worked for 35 years. And over the course of that 35 years, I had a pension. I paid into a pension, and I was able to retire at full benefits at 55. So we're living on my retirement, my pension.
We are.
Yeah, and it's very simple. We were very fortunate, very lucky, and very blessed, but those are the fruits of our labor.
Yes.
After 35 years, I'm lucky enough to have a retirement. Since we've started to channel, there is a little bit of money coming in from that, but trust me when I say...
It's very small.
It's like small. When you take into consideration the amount of hours you spend behind the laptop, at the computer, editing and recording, it's nothing. And
even without that, it's a very small amount. So we just don't even take that into consideration.
Yeah, but we don't count on that income.
No.
We don't, unlike some other channels that are really trying their best, and God bless them, to make the channel work to provide for an income, we're lucky enough that we don't need that.
Again, when we started this, it was to meet people and bond with the community and just enjoy life, because life is too short. So any kind of benefits we get financially from the channel is wonderful, but not expected, and we do not count on that.
No, we didn't get into this thinking, oh, let's do a YouTube channel, we'll make money and we can supplement our income. If it wasn't for our retirement, which has allowed us to go on the road and do this, we wouldn't be able to do it. We wouldn't be able to do it.
Nor would we have taken our life savings after selling our home and throw all that out there just to. And the people that do, God bless you, that's wonderful. We didn't have to do that. We are very, very blessed, and we are very happy with how things have turned out for us. But saying that, we are on a strict budget.
We don't make a living on the road, and thankfully we don't need to, because I know there are a lot of folks out there working their butts off to make it happen, and God bless you. And I mean, it's got to be tough.
It does.
It's just, it's just tough to make a living as it is when you have a sticks and bricks. But to be on the road and do that, and thankfully we're not in that position, and we've got to this point in our lives now where we have a retirement, we're comfortable, we're fortunate, and we can enjoy traveling on the road. So there you have it.
All right,
Those are our top 5 questions, and this is our first Q&A video. Hopefully, we'll have more to come farther along in our adventures and our travels as we gain more experience.
And hopefully you guys will also give us a lot of feedback on all these questions and answers, because like I said, we've been doing this for a couple of years now, but we haven't been full-time. We're not that experienced on everything. I mean, we're going to be honest with you. We know some things, but we're not an expert by any means.
If you could add anything to it, leave a comment down below. If you have any suggestions on how to find places, how to improve the budget, what do you do for your health care when you're on the road? Anything, leave it down in the comment below, because you very well could give us information that we didn't think about that could help us out, and
help
vice
us
versa.
And help everybody else out too. Because if you give us some good information, we'll put it back out there so everybody else.
Yeah, and you guys have been great leaving comments, man. Yes. It's really incredible the amount of comments that we receive. Although we're 3 months going into 4 months in the game, we have the next year planned, barring some unforeseen circumstance, and I drive Katrina crazy when I say that, or the next year is already planned. We're going to Mackinac,
to Wisconsin, to South Dakota, to Colorado, to New Mexico, to the Balloon Festival. That's a big one. And then we'll be going down to Texas, down south through Alabama, and back into Florida.
Back into Florida. We hope to go to the Tampa RV show next year. So we'll be looking forward to that. We just booked a week at the Cheyenne State Park in Colorado.
We did. We had 1 week that we needed filled, and we were able to, because someone had a cancellation, we were able to get a week there. And that's wonderful, because one of our children, our daughter Casey, lives in Castle Rock, Colorado.
And look, if you guys are
close,
if you guys are going to be anywhere out in those areas, let us know, especially if you're going to the Albuquerque Balloon Festival. We'd like to meet some of you guys.
Yes.
And anywhere along we're back in Maryland for right now.
But we're leaving tomorrow. You're leaving tomorrow.
Leaving tomorrow, and Katrina will be catching up to me. We're catching up to us. We're leaving tomorrow, and we still have a couple more videos of our adventures down south, and our initial thoughts about Thousand Trails.
Yes, true.
That's
not that funny. Come on now.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
But anyway, there you have it, guys. Those are our top 5 questions. And that's pretty much it.
That's it for now.
It's been fantastic. It has been
so far so good.
Incredible. Thank you, guys. Hey, look, if this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit the notification bell. You'll be notified every time we release a video. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Even if you didn't like it, give us a thumbs down. All's fair.
It is what it is.
In love and war, so they say. And remember, guys, any day you can get away is a great day. You guys take care.
See you guys. Bye.